went down. We know what's going on. We know what's happening out there right now, right? What do y'all call it? I call it a distraction. Look into your history, man. The CIA approached John F. Kennedy and wanted to start knocking off American citizens as an excuse to go to war against Cuba. They were gonna blame it on the Cubans. This really happened. And I'm talking about, dude, if it wasn't for the fact that Kennedy didn't want to do it, it would have went down. And that's just real talk. But trip off of this, man. How we know this administration ain't with that? Oh, things get different when, you know, definitely a white woman now. This is different now. This ain't like when we get gunned down. These are the folks that stood for the whole qualified immunity thing. You know, they know, y'all know they wanted to have that qualified immunity. So yeah, it's happened, yo. This really happened. Everybody talking about justice. But you and I know, man, there really ain't no justice for just us. Woman was killed in her bed. Man tried to defend her. No, not Warren. There was a justice for that. No justice for just us. If my man tell him the firearms in the car like he's supposed to, that he has a concealed carry permit for it. No justice for just us. We all know what happened to young Tamir. He was a baby, man. Where his justice at? No justice for just us. But right now, everybody is really upset over this thing, man. Big deal. It's a tremendously big deal. But you know what, I am my boy Philip Scott, my other young partner, Mr. Lucas. Let's get off into what they got to say about this whole thing. I mean, they got a few things that they said that I wouldn't mind going over with you all and see how y'all feel about it. Let's get off into it, yeah?
Story that's going around right now, and I was hearing this story over the past few days. I've been in Las Vegas when I was at the CES convention. And this story, many of you have sent messages to me about this story. They say, hey, when Phil gonna speak on this? Well, the story of the woman, Renee Nicole Good. Now, who is this woman? Well, what is up with her? Well, this woman lost her life at the hands of an ICE agent a few days ago. And it has shocked white America. It shocked white America because this is not supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen to those Black Americans, better known as FBA, better known as Solon, better known as Soul Sisters and Soul Brothers. You understand what I'm saying? It's supposed to happen to them. It does not supposed to happen to anyone that is not of the Black American community in this manner. Now, let's go ahead on and check this out, this article real quick. I just want to touch bases because we got to have a short conversation about this. As you see here, that's part of the video of what happened with, you know, Miss Renee Nicole Good. Now, this particular woman, they said the first 2 gunshots by an ICE agent in a deadly shooting of a U.S. citizen in Minneapolis Wednesday. It said, according to ABC News, it says the circumstances around 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good's death, it said, have ignited a national firestorm. It said, with leaders of Minnesota's largest city, along with numerous lawmakers condemning ICE agents' actions. It said, while federal officials say that the agents acted in self-defense after Good tried to ram them, it said, with her car in an act of domestic terrorism. I said, not Good. They say she's a Minneapolis mother of 3. It said who was in the driver's seat of her Honda Pilot in the middle of a residential street when the ICE agent opened fire. It said according to ABC News Now, some verified video, including a few new footage that emerged on January the 9th. Good could be seen turning her car steering wheel to the right away from the ICE agent. It said who shot her just over 1 second before it said the first of 3 gunshots were fired. Okay, so on Wednesday they were doing a federal law enforcement. They say officers in Minneapolis were doing an enforcement operation Wednesday morning. It said when the vehicle got struck, it said stuck in the snow. Homeland Security Secretary Christy Noem said at a news conference Wednesday. Noem says agents called for others to help remove the vehicle from the snow when protesters arrived and who were preventing them from leaving the scene. They are returning back to headquarters, say I believe, to start a new operation. It says she told reporters, it said they had just completed one. Okay. So it said 2 minutes before the shooting, it said Renee Good's Honda Pilot is stopped diagonally on Portland Avenue while at least 4 cars passed perpendicularly, according to the video footage recorded, let's say by Renee Grandel. They said the passenger side front window is closed, say while the rear window is mostly open. Seconds later, at least 3 federal agents wearing masks are seen walking toward the Honda Pilot as bystanders can be heard whistling and yelling at officers. 22 seconds before the shooting, a woman could be later identified as a Good's partner stands behind the Honda Pilot and appears to question a federal agent. According to a video obtained by local attorney Daniel Suter that was shared with ABC News, say the woman and the agent appear to be holding up cell phones, filming each other. The Honda Pilot can be seen, it said, moving very slightly forward while the woman and agent are behind the car. Now, they say the vehicle then stops. The agent will subsequently move alongside the Honda Pilot passenger side and position himself in front of the car. Now, they talk about what happened before the shooting here. They say that a Ford Explorer California license plate, they say that has been on the side of Portland Avenue, can be seen on the video pulling out in the street. They talking about all of this stuff here. And then before the shooting, and you know, you'll see what happened here. Now, I watched the full video, ladies and gentlemen. I watched the full video in its entirety. Okay, I wanted to make sure I did that. I'm not going to play the video here, but you can go look at the video yourself. Okay, what I saw on the video was law enforcement told her to get out the vehicle. She did not want to get out the vehicle. I saw the one officer get in front of her car. She backed the car up. And then,
and this is a common tactic by law enforcement. Now, the thing about it is, when they say get out of the vehicle, you lost the exit of the vehicle. That's a quote unquote lawful order. This is a federal officer. If it would have been one of us, you know, that's what they would have said immediately. Why didn't you do what the officer told you to do? Understand? I mean, this is real talk. And when she didn't get out that vehicle, I believe that's why that other officer positioned himself in the front of the vehicle.
And he still said, get out the car. And then she went forward and the car did touch him. And he fired. And then as she kept going, he fired some more. And then, of course, you know, she, you know, passed.
Now, y'all know we as black folks have seen this before. Y'all know we done seen this before.
Passed away. Now, I'm going to say up front, and this is exactly how I truly feel, that any loss of human life is not a good thing, especially tragic loss of human life. But I would not be me if I do not remind white America of some things. White America, white America, white America. I've been doing this for 13 years. And I remember you in particular were saying some things when law enforcement was taking the lives of Black Americans for a whole lot less. You see, as Black Americans, we don't go get ourselves in the middle of a law enforcement operation. Even the most law-abiding among us do not go in the middle of any kind of law enforcement operation. If the police are here, we go over here. We don't.
Real talk. We might pull out our phones and start recording, but now we know how easy it is to eat. It's just too easy for that glue, that gunk to stick on you.
don't even want to talk to cops a lot of the times because we lose our life for really a lot less. If there was a black American in that vehicle, it wouldn't even got that far. All of them would have unloaded their guns on her. So
that's on my mama. I strongly, honestly believe that they would have lit that car up if that was the brother or sister up in there.
She had privilege enough to feel that she can go and buck them and mess with them. Black Americans know better than that. That's number one. Over the years, when black people were being killed by law enforcement, when they're running away, black Americans doing what they're supposed to do when they have concealed carry permits. Oh, like Philando Castile say, hey, I do have a firearm because I have to let you know according to what y'all say the law is, and lose your life that way. Black people have asked questions and lost their life. Black people have called the cops to help them and lost their life. Black people, had supposedly welfare checks on them, lost their life in their own house. You know what I'm saying? Sonia Massey, to be one of them, right? Got gunned down in her own house and not even trying to attack law enforcement. So many people, Corin Gaines, you have Freddie Gray. You can keep naming people over the years. And when these actions has happened to black Americans, you know what you said, white America? Well, if you just listen to the police and follow lawful orders, then none of this would happen. Will you apply that same messaging to Renee Good right now? I mean, because according to what I saw in the video, why didn't she comply with lawful orders? Just a question, right? I remember, white America, you said the officers are afraid of their life. And that ICE agent was afraid of his life too, right? He was afraid. And white America, you said to us, hey, that officer got to make it home to his family. And so he has to defend himself. Well, that ICE agent had to make it home to his family. And he had to defend himself, right? When we would run away, that would justify them taking our life. Well, according to what you have said about black America, I guess the ICE agent is justified. According to you, not Philip, not black America, according to you, you have supported Blue Lives Matter. Barack Obama did a blue alert law. All this stuff about blue lives, you white Americans was putting a blue light during the times of black people standing up for justice, not black people getting involved in law enforcement operations. No. Did George Floyd get himself involved in a law enforcement operation? Then some of you putting a picture of this lady next to George Floyd. Are you serious? George Floyd wasn't getting involved.
The caucasity, man. The motherfucking caucasity, dog. Just wrong. That's just like putting the picture of Charlie Kirk next to Martin Luther King and shit. Just vile, man. Vile, dog, on record.
With no police. He wasn't involved with the police. They took his life. They didn't tell George Floyd, hey, George Floyd, go over there. Stay out of our business. They didn't do that to George Floyd. They literally snuffed that man's life out.
Man, put a knee on his neck till he was deleted, bro. Big difference. He wasn't going to get involved in nothing like law enforcement carrying out their duties. And it's crazy because I used to work for the city or whatever, but we was federal contractors, and I remember they had signs everywhere saying attacking a federal employee is a federal offense. So I mean, I don't know, dog.
George Floyd didn't attack the cops. So why are y'all trying to put this lady next to George Floyd? That's insulting and completely not factual to how George Floyd lost his life and Miss Good lost her life. For over a decade, I've heard white America support these police wholesale. You have never questioned them. You have never called them to account. The only reason they've been called to account is because of black Americans. The only reason they even have body cams is because of black Americans. It's not because of you. Because if it was up to you, they would never have a body cam. They would never went to jail, because as long as they were doing it to the black man and woman and child of America, you was okay with it. But see, this is what you did, white America. Let me tell you what you did. You cultivated that particular industry, law enforcement. You have babied it. You have said it's okay to oppress. It's okay to undermine. It's okay to harm. It's okay to unalive, as long as it's the black man, woman, and child. And they've got pretty good at it. And now you have created a monster, and now it's touching you.
My mother used to always say, you dig a hole, dig two. On me. My mom used to always say that, especially when I call myself being mad at somebody. Oh, you gonna go out and hurt somebody? You gonna do something to somebody? Uh-huh. Well, when you dig that hole, you better dig two. Everything they always plot and put in their raw seeming hatred. And their pursuance of their own brother with the sword. Perpetual hatred that they got for us. Every goddamn danger pit that they dig for us, they end up falling in it too. I'm reckon.
Bruh. Oh my goodness. So unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you're well aware of the recent story of an American citizen who is now deceased thanks to, the actions of an ICE agent. And I want people to understand that this wasn't any ordinary, regular American citizen, okay? Just like they did when it came to the immigrants and the Ukraine immigrants coming over to the United States, how those weren't regular refugees, that those were something special with blue eyes and blonde hair.
But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too.
These are
Shut up, bitch! Did you hear what he said? This is not Somalia or somewhere like that. This is the European nation. I remember when this was going out, they were saying, and they was blocking the black people from getting on the trains and getting out of Ukraine, because they talk about Ukraine right now. This is a European nation. This doesn't happen here. On record.
prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East, from areas in North Africa.
It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
These are not refugees from Syria. These are Christians, they're white.
That's the same thing here. Okay, not only was it
these are white people. These are good white people that they don't reckon the hypocrisy is just out of this world.
this is a white person, a white American citizen, but this was a white female American citizen. Not only a white female American citizen, but a white female American citizen that was a mother of three. Damn. Now, upon that information coming out, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yo, it's a wrap. This ICE agent, he's cooked, he's finito. I'm expecting him to get the South Park treatment. Now, for those who don't know, there's an episode where George Zimmerman's on South Park. He pops Cartman, thinking that Cartman's black. Turns out Cartman has black face on him. He has black paint. George Zimmerman gets a guilty verdict, sentence, death penalty, and that's it.
Hey, wait a minute. This kid isn't black. He's white. Wait, what?
You can't beat South Park, man. They be on that bullshit.
That's what I'm
Hey, man. Yo, man, have y'all heard dude's supposed to be like homeless or something now, I reckon?
expecting. I'm like, yo, it's a wrap then. It's a wrap. Game over. Pack it up. ICE is done. They're finito. They just killed a white woman who's a mother of 3. It's done so. I don't want to hear it. I already know this ICE agent, he's never going to see the light of day. He may get the death penalty. You know, his family may get threats. It's done, bruh. That is not what happened. Not to make light of a tragedy, but that is not what happened. These mofos were on code, okay? They were on code, on code, on code, on code. And it really goes to show the hatred, right? The hatred that these people have for not only black people, but for brown people, for immigrants, because what they are likening her to is essentially an N-word lover.
He's out of line, but he's right.
That's what they're equating her to. A lot of the memes are saying, hey, I died for an N-word. That's what they're saying. They're saying, I died for a Somali N-word. They're putting her face, the same face as George Floyd. They are mocking this white woman who is a mother of 3. Now, this came as a shock to me because I'm like, wait, what? I always, under the impression that, all white people are a good chunk, at least, were on code, right? They're on code. But it is I don't know, it's a revelation to understand that white conservatives view white liberals as essentially just light-skinned black people, okay? They view them as light-skinned N-words. Damn. They view them as worse than dirt. They view them as race traitors in many cases. That's how they view them. And that's how they're treating this woman right now. Essentially, she's a race traitor. Hey, you're gonna, fight for some Somali and some N-words over your own people, over your own white people. What a waste of, white skin and everything. You get what you deserve. And that's how they're playing this, bro. They're playing this tantamount, honestly, equivalent to her being a black woman.
Come on now, dog.
The level of disrespect they're showing to her, it's catching me off guard. I hate to say it, but it's catching me off guard because I'm used to this level of respect, reserved exclusively for black victims. Because, you'll see a meme and it's like, yeah, of course, that's what, these demons do. That's what the lineage of evil does. But these mofos are now doing it towards this white woman because they view her as such. They view her as garbage. Hey, you're doing this. You're trying to stop ICE. What's wrong with you? And everyone, I'm talking about Kristi Noem, said that, hey, she's a domestic terrorist.
It was an act of domestic terrorism.
What? You had President, Donald Trump come out. He guaranteed that they hadn't even wrapped the investigation. The same thing that they were criticizing Obama for doing when it came to Trayvon Martin, we have Donald Trump doing hot off the press, talking about, hey, this is a good thing for the American people. You know what? We got to stand behind our law enforcement. The ICE agent barely survived and everything. Just immediately going towards, law enforcement, just licking the boot. Everything is just right on plan. Just everyone's on code.
She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself. He's already been seriously wounded in law enforcement operations before, and everybody who's been repeating the lie.
Yeah, that's why he stood in front of that car. They said he got hit by a car before and got dragged by it. Seriously injured. And he stood in front of a fucking car. Hey, man.
That this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
And it should be a wake-up call, bro. It is truly terrifying.
It won't be. There is nothing new under the sun, my dear fellows, my ladies and my gentlemen. Most of y'all are too young to remember this. Yeah, man. White mother of 5 drove from Detroit to Selma to help civil rights marchers. KKK shot her on the highway. Then the FBI smeared her memory to hide their infamy. They had an informant that was actually in the car. He was involved with the whole thing. Yeah, man, this is on record, man. This is what this reminds me of, is what happened to this lady. Different stove, different circumstances, different everything. She was literally, just returning from helping organize a march, I believe. And she had a young brother in the car with her, a young black brother in the car with her. They drove up on the side of the car, FBI informant in the car with them, and opened fire. So she would be considered a real martyr to the civil rights movement, you understand? They have a monument, like a memorial there. But yeah, the FBI called her all kinds of horrible names, man. But yeah, this situation was different, but it still gives me a flashback because there's nothing new under the sun. Like my man just said, they ain't got no problem with her having their own, man, just in a point. But not in the way of what we doing when it comes to tripping on these dark folk. You understand? And that's just that woman paid with her life. You know what I mean? And I guess now people feel like this lady paid with her life, the same type of situation, same type of way. But nope, far from it. Far from it. Big difference, man. But why everybody's looking at this over here, man? And everybody's like, look over there. Look, oh my God, what's happening? There's other things going on in the world, Daddy-O, that we're not paying attention to. And if we don't get it together real quick, actually, it ain't no time. The time is gone. It's on right now. Y'all just don't realize it yet. It's more on. I mean, especially my people, man. Black folks are still out here partying and snapping their fingers and talking about what they finna do at the club this weekend, or who is into it with who's beefing right now. It's on with them. It's on with them niggas. You know, stupid stuff like that. You understand? But on some real stuff, we not paying attention to the real picture. There's all kinds of other stuff going on around this world right now. Y'all not watching. Y'all not watching. Making threats to Iran. Making threats to Greenland. This is serious. See what just happened in Venezuela? But in the meantime, Iran, Russia, and China doing joint naval drill. They prepping for something. Just like I was telling y'all that they was prepping, they wasn't just putting all that military presence in the Caribbean Ocean for nothing, that they was getting ready for something. They was getting ready for this. You ready to take the whole world to war now, yeah? The thing about it is, man, the world ain't necessarily not ready to fight you. Y'all know what's really going on out there? America gonna fuck around and get hit by a brick. And I'm speaking along with biblical prophecy. Y'all don't know y'all scriptures, y'all. To read, baby. Look at the current members: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Populous nations. You got 3 nuclear powers there. Massive armies. Strong economies, for the most part, yeah. It says Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Iran, and what was that? Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have joined. And this little dumb shit that Trump just did over in Venezuela, he ain't did nothing but just up the ante, man. A bunch of other little countries are gonna start running over. We finna do a whole little discussion on this whole thing. This is actually an introduction to part 2. We'll be back later on tonight at around 9-ish, dog, to talk about this part of things that nobody's discussing. What about this? What about this part? What does this have to do with her? Nothing better than an explosion to make everybody look, a distraction. Everybody look over there. Look. They did this in the middle of the night. Everybody look over there. In the meantime, man, there's stuff going on behind the scenes, man. There's stuff going on behind the scenes, man. I'm not paying enough attention. I'm just saying, dog. And I done said my little piece on this piece because, yeah, I wanted to give y'all a heads up on, Why everybody talking about the young lady? Protests all over the United States. Protests all over Iran. United States talking about they gonna intervene. Hey, if American, if the National Guard came out dealing with these protests and started shooting or hurting or actually killing protesters, unaliving protesters, there's no nation that could invade the United States and bomb the Trump administration out of office and change the regime. Just look, that's a crazy thing. You finna go to protect the Iranian people by bombing them. These people the goddamn devil the Bible speak of. On record, man. But hey, dog. Hey, I just wanted to give y'all some food for thought, man. Love all of y'all to life. Love y'all to death, man. Living to die, die to live again. 360 degrees. Comprehend. Until we see each other again. Keep breathing, dog. Hit you.